Hello everyone, good day. Welcome to our virtual reporting for this topic, which is the lesson 2, the Enhanced Teacher Education Curriculum, anchored on OBE. Okay, by the way, my name is Jessrael Morgado, your reporter for this topic. Okay, the lesson 2, the Enhanced Teacher Education Curriculum, anchored on OBE, had two desired learning outcomes. First is they analyze the influence of OBE in the teacher's education curriculum. Then second, reflected on the future teacher education curriculum in the light of OBE. Okay, what is enhanced teacher education all about? This is all about the explanation about the capability and the literacy of the teachers. The teachers must be molded enough, must be knowledgeable enough to teach in the field of education. Then, what is OBE? And why this came up? This OBE, this outcome-based education, came up for us to be teach well, for us to be molded well as students. Okay, this OBE, the Section 5 of the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 stipulates the following curricular standards which the curriculum developers adhered to on crafting the K-12 curriculum. So, why this OBE came up, it's because of the K-12. Okay? Sa una, ang mga estudyante mag-agi kinder but dili sila maabot og senior high, dili sila maabot junior high grade. Kung sa una, 4th year lang sila taman. So karon maagi na tao K-12. Kay para ang estudyante, the reason why nga mahimo tang will molded daghay mahibawan ang nga skills. Kay sa K-12 ba ya daghan tay skills nga pwede sudlan like welding, mga technical vocational nga mga track. Okay. Also, as a teacher education curriculum initiative geared towards globalization, contextualization, indigenization, and other reforms or enhancement, a lot of harmonization is being done by educators, curriculum specialists, faculty teachers, and students and all stakeholders. Outcome-based education as a philosophy, system, and classroom practice gives a very strong signal in the reconceptualization of education curriculum. Okay, let us learn how a teacher education curriculum embrace the philosophy system of the practice of OBE. Content focus. Teacher education curriculum anchored on OBE had more questions like what could be a teacher education curriculum that anchors itself on outcome-based education? What would be the future teacher curriculum that could address and future concerns of basic education? What competencies must one acquire to be able to address these concerns? How will these competencies enhance the attributes of teacher's education graduate? These questions and many more shall be addressed in the content of this lesson. Okay, don't worry guys, kay kani nga mga question maato ni silang answeran later on. Okay. First, desired outcomes of the teacher education program's ideal graduates of teacher education program competencies. Question like, what kind of teacher do we desire to graduate in the future? So, anchored siya sa OBE. So, well, kung ano nato sila asahan yun nga, well molded yun ang teacher. Also, what kind of teacher will you be? What qualities will you possess? To address this question, it is necessary that the desired competencies and outcomes of the teacher education curriculum be clearly stated. These competencies will guide teacher education program on what product do they desired at the end of the college education. What are the attributes of the ideal graduate? Then, recognizing the demand of K-12, the framework of the National Competency-Based Teacher Standards in CBTS, and global requirements of ASEAN 2015, a need to harmonize the teacher competencies is very critical. With OBE, these competencies will form the desired outcomes of the teacher's education program. With the current imperative of the 21st century, the teacher's education curriculum must emphasize teachers' values, skills, and knowledge that are fundamental to good teaching. The roles and responsibilities of teaching should be viewed collaboratively with other professionals because of new job opportunities. Teachers may not remain in the classroom but may take on the tasks of course designers, program evaluators, training specialists, and other which are also related to teaching. So the very first skills, then values and knowledge which is the fundamental of teaching. Kay kung kaning tulo wala ni nonsense ang atong pagtudlo. labi na ang values. So, the competencies for all future teachers in the teacher's education curriculum. It is desired that all graduates of any teacher's education program should have the following competencies to be ready to teach in the classroom. Here are the suggestions based on CMO 35/2004 and the NCBTS. First, demonstrate basic and higher level of literacy for teaching and learning. Demonstrate deep and principled understanding of the teaching and learning process. So kani siya nga mga teaching dapat ma-adapt ni siya sa usa ka teacher. Then number 3, master and apply subject matter content and pedagogical principles appropriate for teaching and learning. Number 4, applied a wide range of teaching related skills in curriculum development, instructional materials, production, learning assessment, and teaching delivery. 5, articulate and apply clear understanding on how educational processes relate political, historical, social, and cultural contexts. Number 5, facilitate learning in various classrooms, setting diverse learners coming from different cultural backgrounds. Number 7, experience direct field and clinical activities in the teaching milieu as an observer, teaching assistant, or practice teacher. Number 8, create and innovate alternative teaching approaches to improve students' learning. Number 9, practice professional and ethical standards for teachers anchored for both local and global perspective. Number 10, pursue continuously lifelong learner for professional growth as teachers. So dapat as a teachers, kita dili kita muundang sa pagtuon, dili ta muundang sa pag-eskwela. Like para ang atong knowledge magadugang at a time. Okay. With the enumerated intended outcomes, the future teacher should be aware of the outcomes they should become. Using the national competency-based standards as framed as a global Filipino teacher, let us analyze the intended competencies, outcomes that are addressed by the different NCBTS domains. This is anchored on TCSE Progress Report 2013. So, teacher standards outcomes and domain addressed in NCBTS. So, in teacher standards outcomes, uses specialized knowledge and skills in a variety of schools contexts in diverse students' background. In domain address in NCBTS, there are 3. First, diversity of learners, learning environment, and last, curriculum. Then, in teacher standards outcomes, applies inquiry with the use of research approaches and utilize evidence-based knowledge to improve teaching. Then, in the other side, diversity of learners, planning, assessing, and reporting personal growth and professional development social for learning. Self-direct continuous learning related to own expertise for enhancement of students' outcomes and strengthening to improve teaching. Then, in the other side, personal growth and professional development, social regard for learning. Then, maximize the involvement of education stakeholders and non-education communities to work in collaboration for relevant education reform. Then, community linkage. So, from the identified competencies, standards, and outcomes, the ideal graduate of the teacher education program as a new breed of teachers are, so, kani nga mga kuan mas ma-acquire ni sa mga teachers para magamit to enhance his or herself. Okay. First, the multiliterate. Dapat ang usa ka teacher should be multiliterate. Also, the teacher must be reflective, must be master subject content. Also, the teachers must be highly skilled, also sensitive to issue, also multicultural, then innovative, then highly professional, then lifelong learner. Okay, number 2, teachers' educational curriculum. An example. What kind of teacher education curriculum can develop such competencies in college of education or teachers' education departments? Using the OBE frameworks, the competencies previously stated are now translated into outcomes. These are the outcomes we need to say in every graduate. teacher education program outcomes. At the end of the degree plan for elementary or secondary teaching, the future teacher must have demonstrated basic and higher level of literacy, teaching and learning. Dapat kabalo na kaana nga mga butang kay to be enhanced. So also demonstrated deep and principled understanding of the teaching learning process. You should be aware of everything principled. You should have the deep understanding of what you are teaching. Also, mastered and applied the subject matter, content, and pedagogical principle appropriate for teaching and learning. So, dapat fitted good imong mga teaching sa imong mga estudyante. Also, applied a wide range of teaching related skills in curriculum development, instructional material production, learning assessment, and teaching delivery. Then, articulated and applied clear understanding of how educational processes relate to political, historical, and social culture contexts. Then, facilitated learning in various classrooms, sitting diverse, coming from different culture background. Experience direct field and clinical activities in the teaching milieu as an observer, teaching assistant, or practice teacher. Created an innovative alternate teaching approaches to improve students' learning. Then, practice professional and ethical standards and teachers anchored for both local and global perspective. Then, number 10, or the last, continuously lifelong learning for personal and professional growth as a teacher. So adili tanyo mo undang pagtuon aron mulambo pwede atong knowledge aron madagdagan atong vocabulary. Thank you and God bless. So that's all. So the continuation of this topic will be reported by Ms. Lagrosas, and thank you for watching and listening. Bye.